God, I offer myself to Thee, to build with me and to do with me as Thy wilt. Hello, and welcome again to TUMI'S Daily Grind. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're doing well. My name is Tumi, and my journey began on the 13th of October 2021. As always, here I talk about recovery, spiritual growth, mental health issues, sobriety, relapses, and spiritual well-being, focusing mainly on the daily work, the grind that goes into finding peace of mind, contentment, and freedom from addiction. Today I have chosen to talk about one of my favorite tools stashed in my box of recovery and spiritual growth. This topic is one of 3 topics that cover a prayer found in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others recover from alcoholism. This prayer is found on page 63 under the chapter How It Works, that forms part of the 3rd step in the 12-step program of recovery from alcohol and other addictions of all sorts, including drugs, gambling, overeating, sex addiction, etc. The full prayer states, God, I offer myself to Thee, to build with me and to do with me as Thy wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do Thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of Thy power, Thy love, and Thy way of life. May I do Your will always. I have broken it down to 3 separate topics because it is a very powerful step in recovery for me, and would like to look at it in detail as I understand this prayer. Before I do that, I would like to mention here what step 3 states. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. Being willing to grow along spiritual lines and follow the guidelines offered in that program as best that we can, we are able to recover from that spiritual malady. With the understanding that we have a problem and that our lives have become unmanageable, that no human power can provide relief, and that only God can if we seek Him, we move on to the 3rd step. The first part of this prayer, as the subject of this presentation states, God, I offer myself to Thee. The first part is the beginning of the action. We make the decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God because we know from steps 1 and 2 that our lives as run on self-will has not been a success. We have not been able to find any other solution that worked and kept us from the cycle of actions that caused us to feel guilt and shame from our out-of-control need to use. We were always colliding with something or someone, as explained on page 60 and 61. By me handing over at this stage, I fully comprehend that I am unable to recover without my higher power. I am delusional, egocentric, and self-centered to think otherwise. I therefore hand over to God because in the past I have made decisions that have placed me in positions where I was hurt as people retaliated. Let me look at the concept of letting go. It is amazing that we only understand that we need to let God lead us once we lose the control. Once our lives spiral out of control, do we realize who is actually in control? This does not mean we now let go of our aspirations, our goals, and our dreams. It simply means we let go of our ego and self-will and trust to be led by God in our life's path. We surrender, no matter how hard it may seem at first, and offer ourselves to God. God has a plan for me, and that plan will always surpass my own. Man tracht and God lacht. This is an old Yiddish proverb meaning man plans and God laughs. At this point, I have to understand that I am not in control of the roadblocks, accidents, disasters that may come my way. This COVID-19 pandemic has certainly made the majority of us to realize that no matter how much control we would like to exercise, we are not in charge. God is. I know how difficult it is for me to surrender, especially during dark times, but it is the only way. I have to hand over my life to the care of God. Today is day 70 of my journey towards finding serenity and peace of mind, and this platform, as well as everything I do as part of my program, has helped me daily to keep focus and stay put on this journey. Proverbs 16 verse 9 states, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." Ephesians 3:20 says, "Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us." And finally, Psalm 46:10 tells us, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still, let go, and let God. I would like to end this episode by mentioning Buddha's 4 noble truths used in the art of mindfully letting go. The first noble truth: in life there is suffering because of the impermanent nature of things, followed by suffering is due to attachments and expectations caused by grasping and clinging. It's possible to end suffering by giving up these attachments and expectations. The way to end suffering due to clinging and grasping is through balance and living in the present. These are identified as the first teachings of Buddhism that look at suffering, incapable of satisfying our own selves, and pain, which arises from craving, desire, or attachment. We need to let go of it so we can enter the path leading us to renouncement of that craving or desire through presence and awareness. We do recover with the help of God, and therefore I surrender and say, "God, I offer myself to Thee, to build with me and to do with me as Thy wilt." Thank you for your time, your support, and being with me on this journey to finding serenity. If you enjoy listening to me, please don't forget to subscribe and let your friends, your family, and your tribe know that they can also join me on this journey toward finding serenity and some peace of mind. Until I see you next time, stay well and God bless you and keep you safe today. I wish that you surrender to the God of your understanding, that control is not in your hands, but in God's hands. Let go and let God build with you and do with you as He pleases. Be diligent with the work required to achieve your spiritual goals and experience serenity and peace of mind.